girls. So this week we are, as you can see, down here in the basement again, because I am hopefully doing a relatively short video this week, because frankly I'm not feeling all that hot, and I go back to third shift this weekend. So I'm doing this at like, I think it's 1 o'clock in the morning right now, and it's all getting done tonight before I go to bed in the morning before I have to go to work. So yeah, let's get to it. So as you guys seen a couple videos ago now, I picked up this Element Bushido. It's the Enduro chassis that they've ran for a while now. I like it. I like the body that's on it. But I have another body that I like better that will actually fit this chassis really well. And that's why we're doing this video, because I want to show you how easy it is to turn this Bushido from this to this. This is an RC four-wheel drive Hilux body. I already went ahead and pretty much assembled most of the body off camera because, well, partially I got this on trade and some of the work was already done. The point of the video is not how to assemble the body itself. And 3, like I said, I want to keep this relatively short. If I showed you guys doing everything to the body, this would be a 4-hour video. So I got the basis, the body done, which is the whole front end put together, windows in it that I forgot to peel the cover off, or the protective film off of. So it is not clear, it's frosted right now, which kind of, for what we're doing right now, makes it look better. A buddy of mine painted this a while back for another buddy of mine. So I didn't pick the color or anything, which I'm not upset about that. It's a flat white and I kind of like it. So it works for me. It is the standard cab long bed variety of the Hilux. And let me get the Bushido up here and I will explain why this is going to be so easy. So, the reason why this is going to be a relatively easy thing to do is because, realistically, we're only changing, I think we're going to call it 4 parts. We're going to change the rear shocks, because I don't want to cut the bed. This is an optional thing. You can cut the bed and use the stock shocks and shock towers. I don't like doing that. And we're going to change the side plates. These are adapter plates for this body onto this chassis from Shrink RC. These make doing this swap super, super easy. He also makes a bed mount for the back of it. Those are an old set of plates, and I have lost that mount. So I can't show you that. But he does offer it with it, and when you order your kit, when you order your body mounting system, as he calls it, for this body, for this chassis, it will come with a plate that goes on the back of the frame that lines up with the factory screw holes that are in the bed to line it up on here. And the reason why I say it's going to be so easy to do on the Bushido versus a lot of the rest of them is this is already the same wheelbase. The Bushido out of the box is one of the easiest RTR trucks right now to just make very scale with a nice body, because of the fact that it is the wheelbase that it is. So that's going to be the goal of this video, is to do that and hopefully show you guys exactly how easy this can be. We are going to change the wheels and tires too, partly because I think these general grabbers are going to be too tall. I have a slightly shorter tire on a 1.5 wheel. I think will not only look better on this with this body, but the tire size is also going to work better for this body on this chassis. So, all right, I'm going to shut it and we're going to get to work. Alright, there we go. We have the side plates off. Now what we're going to do is I got to go through and look at these and remember how they go on. side to side. So they go on like this. So I got one more screw, it looks like, that I need to take off. And then I can start putting these on. So now I can put all these screws back in the front and the screw for the rear links back in. I can't do it for the front link. Well, no, I can do it for the front link too. Because this bolt, and this bolt are all that actually hold this on, versus everything else that came out is just holding the rest of the truck together. So what we're going to do now is get all those screws put back in. I'll probably put some shorter ones in all the link mounts, because those are going to be really long, since now they have that much less to go through. And we'll start getting the side plates put on. Like I said, this is going to be a really short video, so this might actually almost fit on TikTok when it's all said and done. That'd be crazy. But yeah, so on to getting these on. And probably while I'm doing that, we will go ahead and work on maybe the shocks too. I don't know. We'll see. Alright, here's where we are. And this is basically, the body is ready to be mounted now. There was a couple things I did that you don't need to do. And those are, you don't need to do the rear shocks like I did. You can cut the hole in the bed, have the shocks go all the way through. You do you. I don't personally like that look, so I didn't do it. And then I run full-size battery packs. I don't run shorty lipos very often unless I absolutely have to, because I don't like the runtime of most of them. So I put the full-size battery tray in. Now, it does start to make contact with these. The other option you have, if you want to run a full-size pack like I do, but you don't want to take the chance of these being on these like they are, you can take the shorty pack. The tray for the shorty pack. Bust these ends out of it. Leave it in there. Your battery will have clearance where the battery tray does not. I've done that on a few trucks when I didn't have one of these trays. Worked just fine. I'm using it because I have it. Other than that, there's no real reason to do it. I am a little concerned that this is going to hit the hood. I don't remember how I've done it on a couple of the other Hiluxes, and frankly, I don't feel like pulling one off the shelf to look at the moment. So it'll be fine. If not, I'll show you how I changed it. And yes, it is just kind of friction fit in there right now. I'll probably put some double-sided tape to hold it in place later. I'll probably end up doing something with the wiring later too. This is probably not going to be the only video you see on this truck. I would like to do some more to it before a trail event at the end of May. Maybe put some lights and stuff in it for that event. You're also probably wondering, why did I put those back tires on, fully knowing I'm taking them right back off? It's because I didn't want to show you the other wheels and tires on the chassis before the body goes on the chassis too. So the next thing you guys are going to see is all of it together. I'm not going to run it in this video because even if I just run it back here, I'm still going to get it dirty, and I don't want to get it dirty. I want to keep it clean while I'm working on it until I get everything done, and then we'll do a running video of it. This is just a quick, easy, look how easy you can do this video for any of you guys that would like to build a Hilux, but you're like me and you just want a nice, simple build. You don't want anything over the top. You don't want anything crazy. You want a chassis that you know works good, with a body that looks good, that you can trail with your buddies and have a good time. That's what this build is. Nothing more, nothing less. That's why you aren't going to see that thing be super scaled out or anything with tons of accessories and full depth interior and blah, 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 blah. It don't need it for what I'm doing. It needs these side plates, some better wheels and tires that fit better. That's it. It doesn't need... I'd like to throw some lights in it because one of the events I want to go to later this year is a night run. And this will probably be the truck I take it to. We'll see. I switch up what I take to events all the time, though. So, who knows? But I would like to have some lights in this truck. Yeah, let's get everything mounted so I can show you what's up. There you have it, boys and girls. That is a Hilux body on a basically stock bushido. Now, I do have to mention a couple things that I did forget. One of them I forgot. The other one I didn't realize was a thing. So, I'm going to show you those now. Number one, I did not realize that if you have the cover over the transmission, it will hit the bottom of the bed and basically prevent you from getting the body on very easily. So that's a thing you need to be aware of. You could, if you wanted to leave most of the cover on, just trim off this center hump, make it flush right here with this mounting, with this surface, and it'll work. Now, given that means you're no longer sealed, but you're still going to keep the wires from getting into anything. The other one, I forgot that when using these side plates with this body on this chassis, the lower links, at least the lower links, if you want to, you can do the upper links as well, they need to have the rod ends changed. That's because with these rod ends being a little bit longer, the wheel is actually scooted back a little bit. Like right now, it's centered. Before, it was back here. So you have a big gap in the front and it was touching in the back. Now, with as short as my shocks are, that wouldn't have been an issue for me, but it wouldn't look right. So I remembered, without even looking it up, that Traxxas rod ends or axial straight rod ends will actually shorten it just that little bit. It's like not even 1/8 of an inch, I don't think. These are off of a 10.3, so they work. The 10.2 rod ends I know work, and I believe on his website he actually recommends Traxxas rod ends, which are just as short as these. Might even leave a little bit of thread showing on these, I can't remember. So those are all options, and I think he even recommends doing the uppers. Personally, I like the driveline angle a little bit better without the uppers being done, because the uppers being done, it just makes everything a bit more extreme. This way, I feel like the drive shaft angle is a little bit better, because that upper is still steep. The back one's not as steep, which overall, I know it's supposed to be like equal opposite angles. Well, when you're talking this short of a wheelbase, you can't do that. And at least not in the back. In the front, it's a little bit longer. You can kind of make that happen. On the rear, you got to work with what you can work with and try to reduce the angles as much as possible. So for me, that is leaving the upper links just a touch longer and going with it from there. Now, some things I may change is right now I have the rear shocks just straight up and down. So that means that right there is all the more travel I have. And some of that is me pushing the bed down too. Now, if I bring them up to here, my ride height will stay about the same and I will gain a little flex. That is something I might do, but then I got to play around spacing out the shock a little bit so the shock body is not hitting the frame. Right now with where it is, the shock body just barely clears the frame. So that is something I'm going to look at possibly changing. And I may end up changing the front shocks as well, just because I've already got the rears changed. But, I mean, that being said, I still have, for a scale truck, pretty damn good flex. So I'm happy with that. If I don't change anything, I'm not going to care. So, then, I also, those are the wheels and tires I was wanting to put on it. But that's because I forgot I had these in the drawer. Those might look better on it, but then again, they're a different shade of white, so maybe not. I don't know. There's a lot of ways to go with it, and I'm not sure exactly which one I want to go with. But, like I said, there you guys have it. That is RC 4-wheel drive Hilux body, very simply mounted to an Element Enduro Bushido with shrink RC body mounts and very minimal other changes. So if you guys want to build a cool, fun scale truck that you know is capable and look good, definitely an option you should see about doing. That being said, you guys have a good week. See you next time. Have a good weekend.